Hey guys, I am making you a video today, which is kind of crazy. Um, but I wanted to talk about three things that I've learned this year because it's my birthday on Sunday. And I always think that that's a really, really good time to kind of reflect on what's been working this year, where do you need a little bit more clarity, and where are you headed. And because my birthday falls at the end of July, it's kind of convenient because it's literally a halfway point between of the year. It's like 6 months later since the ball dropped in Times Square, and it's 6 months. So it's a great time. So now you can use my birthday. So now you can skip your own. And whenever you get to my birthday, you can do the check in on July 29th. So I'll be 34 on Sunday, which is kind of crazy. And I know so for some of my clients that are older than me, they'll be like, oh, no big deal. And for some of my clients that are younger than me, that might feel like me a little bit, which is like, 34? Like, I had an idea of what it meant to be 34 when I was a kid, and it looks way different than it looks now. I certainly am somebody who has had certain successes and certain things that I'm still striving for. But if I look back at myself when I thought I was going to be at 34, and it's a little bit different. But that's okay. And that's one of the things I want to talk to you about. So I want to tell you about three things that I learned this year in my Jesus year, 33. So 33 was a huge year for me, a huge year. I got married when I was 33 last August. And then just about 4 months later, we moved. We up and moved from New York City to Atlanta. And a lot of people thought that was a little bit crazy. You just planned a wedding, you just spent all this money, you're going to move from New York City to Atlanta. Like, you don't know anybody there, you know one person, where are you going to live? When are you going to have time to go look at stuff? When are you going to move? We had our honeymoon, and it was certainly a whirlwind, but it was something that Eric and I knew we had to do for ourselves and felt like it was time to do it. And so we've been in Atlanta for 6 months, and it's the best decision that we ever made. And so the first thing I want to say to you that I learned in my Jesus year was that change is good. And so when that comes to your personal life and your professional life, where can you think about where change is good? In your business, is it time to really, really focus on that customer avatar, get super specific on who they are? It's my dog. Jake's into it. He wants you to get super specific on who your customer avatar is. Who is your ideal client? Maybe it's time to step in and sign up for that group program you've been wanting to do. Maybe it's time to make that move. Maybe if your business is a little bit of your side hustle right now and you still have that full-time career, maybe it's that time to take that jump. Where can you look at some change in your life and take the risk? And yes, it's important to take small baby step changes. I'm a firm believer in that. I'm going to get to that in a second. But sometimes it's really, really important to take the giant leap forward. And I'm living proof of that. I'm sitting in my living room in Atlanta. I have a washer dryer for the first time in my life. I have the outdoors literally right outside. I don't have to walk into a hallway of an apartment building. Like, I have so much greenery. And what I realized about myself living here is that nature and the sun has had such an impact on my life. My business has skyrocketed since I moved. And again, Jake can attest. And I don't think that that's coincidence. I think that I put out into the universe that I was ready for something different in my life, and it gave it back to me. So where can you take a giant leap ahead? Okay, so number two is I realized in my Jesus year that I had to celebrate my wins more. I definitely am a little bit of an Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, and I definitely can be a little bit like go to the Dementor place in Harry Potter. So if any of those references make sense to you, like, you can find me in my own like Azkaban and kind of always focusing on like what hasn't happened. And so every year on my birthday, I make kind of, not resolutions, but things that I want to happen. And when I looked back at the list, I realized for the first time that I really, really went towards those things. So going back to that first thing, change is good. And then I was able to then make those small changes towards celebrating my wins. So for myself this year, this is the first time I've ever taken care of my body. And I mean that sincerely. I've always been somebody who has been small. That has not been something that I've had to struggle with. I've been fortunate in that way. I certainly have had other things. If you've been following me for a while, I've had a lot of weird and crazy skin things in my life. But I kind of took for granted that, I was smaller and I seemed to have a fast metabolism, and I wasn't really focused on taking care of myself. And this is the first year that I have, and I've been working out consistently since March. I've been eating well, and this is huge for me because when I lived in New York, I was just sustaining on like a Dunkin' Donuts coffee and stress. and, you know, hoping for the best. And so this is the first year that I really, really pushed myself to do that. And therefore I'm able to kind of celebrate these wins in my life. So I want you to think about, where were you 6 months ago or on your last birthday? What are those small wins in your life that you can really, really celebrate yourself for? Maybe it's that you, you know, did your first mastermind, your first summit. Maybe it's that you started your group program. You know, maybe it's that, you know, you're taking care of yourself more personally. Maybe you set up your work day. That was a big one for me when I decided, okay, I'm really great. I need to write all day on Mondays. I can't talk to clients on Mondays. I need to have that day as a full writing day. Tuesdays and Thursdays are client days. Wednesday's another writing day, and Friday is like my catch-all day. So those are wins that I was able to celebrate, and I want you to celebrate those wins in your own life as well. And then number 3 in my Jesus year is I decided to really make plans of like looking ahead. And how that looks for me is that I'm turning Copy You, for those of you who know my group program, into kind of a DIY workshop that people can do themselves, and they're also going to have me as an added component. So that's a big project that I'm working on, that I'm looking ahead to say, okay, by Christmas, again, Jake seems to be really interested when I'm like proactive, is what's next, right? What's next? It's like being able to celebrate and take a step back. You know, I'm going to Savannah to celebrate my birthday, so I'm going to take a little bit of a breather, but then it's like, okay, what's next? How can I, you know, add to what I've already been building? And then also for myself, as personally as a writer, I'm going to be starting my own personal project that's really near and dear to my heart. So stay tuned for more information about that. But I'm really pushing myself to say, okay, what I learned in my Jesus year was that I create the reality in which I live. I really have the power to kind of manifest. Do I have the power to like change everything? No, there were things on my list last year at my birthday that didn't happen this year. But I look at it and I go, maybe that's for a reason. And okay, maybe some of those things, why was I scared to step into those things and the other things came so easily, right? We have more power than we think, personally and professionally. That's why the best thing you can do is surround yourself with people who build you up, have a great set of friends in your life. And professionally, find yourself a really, really great business coach that can help you out, that can take those ideas and help you implement them. I think having someone to help you with copy is a really, really good thing that you can do for your business. You've heard me talk about that over and over again. And having that support system, that's one of the biggest things that I think entrepreneurs forget. We think we're kind of on this island by ourselves. And you're not. There's a lot of great resources that you can invest in your business now, and you'll make that return on investment for real. You know, I spent a lot of money this year on my website, and I remember when I signed that money over, I was like, I don't even know if I have this. And energetically, no joke, the minute my website went live, a week later, I made the money back like that. Not kidding. Because when you put the energy out there to say you're going to invest in yourself, you hire someone of quality, shout out to Tony Howell, and you get it done, the good stuff comes back to you. And so in honor of my birthday, I want to tell you that I am always here for you to help you any way I can. And that's like a gift to myself and a gift to you, to know that, you know, I have your back. I got your copy back. Jake does too. You can't see him because maybe he's not as into that, but he's pretty cool. So pop in the comments anything about this that kind of resonated with you, or, you know, even better, what is one of those things? What's a win that you can celebrate? Pop that into the comments, because sometimes it's easy to think about this. You know, you're watching a video, you're watching somebody, and it's not as easy to go, all right, I need to like say it out loud for myself. So pop a win down there, and that's it. I hope you guys have an incredible weekend. All right, bye.